15-year-old Sinead Taylor, 15-year-old James Hubley, 16-year-old Adam Kaiser, and 17-year-old Leila Alcorn. These 4 teenagers all have 2 things in common. The first being that they each belong to the LGBT community. All 4 teens are bullied and harassed by their classmates and by their family. And the second thing that they have in common is all 4 will never have the chance to live a happy life because they took their own lives. According to the Trevor Project, lesbian, gay, and bisexual youth are 4 times more likely to commit suicide. And even worse is the suicide statistics for transgender youth, with nearly half having suicidal thoughts and 1/4 having attempted suicide. I have dedicated a lot of time and research to this topic, and I am passionate about it. So today let's discuss some of the problems associated with LGBT rights, the causes of discrimination, and also some solutions that are available to bring equal rights to everybody. The 2 main problems associated with LGBT rights are discrimination and anti-LGBT laws. According to DoSomething.org, 42% of people who are LGBT report living in an unwelcoming environment. As I'm sure you can imagine, living in an unwelcoming environment is not good for your mental health and can cause issues such as anxiety, depression, and problems with self-esteem. According to GLAAD.org, fewer than 1/3 of all U.S. states have laws protecting people from discrimination based on sexual orientation, and only a handful prohibit discrimination based on a person's gender identity or expression. There are no federal protections for LGBT civil rights. So imagine not having protections for your job just because of who you love or the gender you identify with. The second problem associated with LGBT rights are anti-LGBT laws. There are bathroom bills, and there are also bills that allow businesses to discriminate against this community. Bathroom bills in particular discriminate against transgenders. There's a lot of controversy about this. Basically, there are 9 states that have these active bills, and they refuse transgender people to use the bathroom that match their gender identity. And also businesses in 7 states can refuse service to LGBT individuals because of the Religious Freedom Restoration Act of 1993. And according to U.S. legal, this is a federal law that aims at preventing laws that substantially burden a person's free exercise of their religion. So a business can say they don't want to bake a cake for a same-sex couple because it substantially burdens their free exercise of their religion. Now that we understand some of the main problems associated with LGBT rights, let's discuss its causes. Discrimination may be caused by a lack of knowledge and/or, unfortunately, religion. I think a lack of knowledge about anything can make people not be understanding or open about it. For example, there are people who believe that people choose their sexual orientation, but I think we can all agree that we didn't decide one day who we were going to be attracted to. It just sort of happens. And also, the transgender community has a lot of lack of knowledge and people don't understand it the best. However, there's a difference between your sex and your gender. Sex is biological and gender is a social constructed thing. And transgenders have existed throughout history, just like lesbians and gays and bisexuals. And unfortunately, there's religion that people sometimes use to hide their feelings of hate and discrimination. There are 6 scriptures total in the Bible about homosexuality, and of these 6, 5 of them are found in the Old Testament. And this is something to think about because according to Christianity, the laws of the Old Testament are not really followed by today's Christians because they stopped being followed after Jesus died on the cross for the sins. And now that we understand some of the problems and the causes, let's explore solutions that we can all do to try and bring equality to everybody. This community has had to fight constantly to be given rights that every human being should have, regardless of who they love and who they are. The first solution that anybody can do to give equal rights is to educate yourself. Also, talking about it is a good thing. I think sometimes people are afraid to talk about this subject. I think they think it's a taboo subject maybe. But there are more than 8 million people that are part of this community in just this country alone. Also, electing people into office positions that won't pass discriminating bills against the community. This is probably one of the more important things we can all do as a society to give our fellow friends, family, and neighbors equal rights. Also, if you yourself are uncomfortable with this community or you know somebody who is, my suggestion for that is to get to know somebody who's a part of this community. A lot of times people grow up and they're told things from a young age and they start to believe it. But if they have the chance to go out and learn about it for themselves, they might be more open or change their minds. And lastly, if you see discrimination, you should stop it. I think there's enough hate and violence in our world to stand by and let somebody be tormented or singled out just because of who they love. With this speech today, you are now aware of the problems associated with LGBT rights, some causes of discrimination, and some solutions that are available to us to help bring equality. It might be hard for people to understand what life is like when you're not a part of the community, or if you haven't taken time to research or understand, but try imagining that you're out with your partner. You might be holding hands or hugging, maybe a few kisses, good things. Well, if you're in a same-sex relationship and you're even just holding hands, a lot of times people will stare, or they might point, or laugh, and some people might even yell at them, saying derogatory things. So even trying to express their love in public, it can cause sadness or anxiety. There are a lot of things that this community goes through that many people don't realize. It's not just about having equal rights in terms of laws, it's also about, as a society, embracing these people and making them feel more comfortable. My hope is that because of this speech, you will be more open and understanding of what this community deals with on a daily basis, and you will believe that they deserve equal rights as well. In closing, the way someone is born and who they love should not be a sentence for hate and discrimination. This will only end when more awareness is raised and when people like me and like you stop hatred for this community. Thank you.